This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and tell us what he thought.
On balls out in the lumberyard.
Watching the Grunion Pro Magi. If you're listening to this, don't even waste your time.
Hello and welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. This is episode number 199. My name's Adam Patterson. Joining me today, we've got Kevin Rakestraw. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing pretty good.
We're also joined by Ryan Holes. How are you?
Brilliant.
We're being mired by technical difficulties. Ryan's been having issues with his mic. That's why he didn't see us last week. And hopefully everything is resolved for this week. Although if we have a shorter show, it's because everything fell apart with his mic. And we'll have to cut it short. What movie did we have you watch this week?
Exodus, Gods and Kings.
Exodus, Gods and Kings. We picked this in honor of Gods of Egypt. These movies are so similar that when I was preparing to record this afternoon, I typed in Gods of Egypt thinking that that's what I gave you. And then I realized, oh wait, this is the one that's actually coming out this week, not the other one. And then I couldn't remember the name of the other one. So this is directed...
Don't they have the same cast?
No, it's a different cast. It's just...
All I remember is seeing a big snake.
Which one?
And then
Yeah.
Everything when they're in the trailer on TV, there's a giant snake.
Yeah, me and Adam were talking about that.
Yeah, everything looks robotic in the new one.
Mechanized viper.
It's like Michael Bay's Gods of Egypt.
Oh, yeah.
They transform.
I hope they do. Transform into better actors.
Either way, I'm not going to be seeing this. Okay, so this one, Exodus, Gods, and Kings, is directed by Ridley Scott. I have a synopsis here. The defiant leader Moses rises up against the Egyptian pharaoh Ramses, setting 600,000 slaves on a monumental journey of escape from Egypt and its terrifying cycle of deadly plagues. The stars Christian Bale, Joel Edgerton, and Ben Kingsley. Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about Exodus, Gods and Kings? I almost said Gods of Egypt again.
Well, there's a royal family, and the son is Prince Ramses, and his right-hand man is named Moses. And a little bit in, the prince's dad dies, so that makes him king or pharaoh. And he is trying to figure out if Moses is actually Hebrew. And he threatens to cut off a lady's arm that may or may not know. And before he can do that, Moses chimes in and says, I'm Hebrew. So instead of killing any of them, this prince decides to exile them and then spend the rest of the movie trying to kill them, which he could have done in about 2 seconds if he wouldn't have exiled them. But that's besides the point. So this pharaoh's after him, and we all know about the different plague or different what the hell's the word I'm thinking of?
Yeah, I think you had it right. The different plagues.
But isn't one a plague and one's frogs and one's... Alright, I guess they're all plagues. So
Yeah, they're all plagues.
They get all these plagues. And the last one is that the firstborn will die, and every firstborn Egyptian dies, but no firstborn will know any Hebrews die. So Moses leads them away from this pharaoh who decides to go after them, and they get to a sea towards the end, and Moses parts the sea, and they just kind of wander through, and the sea closed back up, and I thought it killed everyone, But apparently, the Pharaoh somehow, there was a huge wave coming at him. And somehow he survived that in the ocean and floated to safety. So he survives the but he parts the sea and leads them away from this Pharaoh. And they start new lives. And that's it. And they also slightly at the end touch on the Ten Commandments.
Ah.
And how God in this movie, God is a little kid, especially a little, he's talking through a little kid. And at the end, he's describing the Ten Commandments. And that's it.
Okay. Well, what'd you think of this?
It was alright.
Just alright.
It was way too long.
Yeah, this is 2.5 hours long.
Whew.
Woo.
Oh, boy.
And like I already knew what was gonna happen. But I don't think this story is worthy of 2.5 hours of my time.
Damn. That's harsh.
So you're saying you'd probably be better off just like reading illustrated Bible stories for children?
Yes.
Damn. That's harsh. Saying Moses doesn't deserve 2.5 hours.
Does he?
Whew.
I think this story could have comfortably been told like an hour and 45 minutes.
I like how you pick an hour 45.
I would have been happy with that.
What could they cut out? If you were the editor here and you could have whittled this thing down, what would you taken out?
If you want, like, just like during the play when the firstborn dies, it's just a real slow, like, darkness moves over the whole town, and eventually every child dies.
Do they show every child?
It's all slow.
Do they show every child die?
Huh?
Do they show every single child die?
No.
In a litany of ways?
They only show a few.
Well, how do they die? Do they all die the same way?
Yeah. They're all sleeping and breathing. And then the darkness moves over their house and they die.
They die from the darkness. They just stop breathing?
Yeah.
So they don't suffer or anything. They're out.
Correct. And for whatever reason, this Ramsey guy thinks that he knows Moses is talking to God, and he calls himself a god and says, "I want to meet this guy and probably kill him." I mean, I'm not.
I want to meet this guy and probably kill him.
I'm not religious at all, but how's a mortal guy gonna stand up to a god? It just staggers me that it's so cocky throughout the whole way.
It sounds like he's not 100% decided on whether he's going to kill this god or not.
He kind of wants to meet him and see what it's all about.
He's going to play it by
size him up.
He's going to play it by ear. You get to know him first a little bit.
Yes.
That's a good idea. I mean, at least he's not completely irrational.
Is there like a sweet fight scene at the end?
There's a sweet party of the sea scene at the end.
I have a feeling that they stretched that out as long as, because I would get the sense that that's like that's the moment.
Yeah.
So do they draw that sucker out?
That scene was probably a half hour more long.
Oh my god!
Damn, that is long.
I mean, it probably would take time to do that, but you wouldn't have to show it all.
No, you just want to come in like in the midway.
You show the sea dividing in half. You show the people walking through it. You show the Egyptian people getting swallowed up by the sea. That's it. Doesn't take a half hour.
Now, how do the people react when he splits the sea open like that?
They don't. He doesn't really like split it. It just kind of disappears.
What?
I mean, there's little puddles over there, but then the Egyptians come and the sea starts to make a big tidal wave and come back together.
If it was me, I'd be freaking out. Didn't they show people like losing it? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, Moses, you're crazy, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah, I would lose my shit.
I'd be like,
what the fuck? What the fuck?
I'm listening to this crazy guy that's telling us to walk into the ocean. There's fucking water there. We're gonna drown.
Yeah, nobody actually believes that he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, we'll follow you because we're slaves and we totally want to be free. But this whole like, don't worry, guys, I'll handle this. Like, I'd be like, all right, come on.
Yeah, it's like, what about the sea? And he's like, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Don't
but
worry.
Everyone's
I have
thinking
a little
like,
plan for that.
That's kind of important. It's a big thing. But he just figures it out.
And then when he does it, that's it. I'd be loyal.
Hell yeah.
Loyal Moses follower.
Fuck yeah. I'd be going everywhere with that guy.
So overall, you're feeling a little meh on this one?
A little bored to tears.
Ooh.
Were there some epic battles?
I guess.
Oh, I remember the only thing I remember from the trailer there is the giant tidal wave where they have like the chariots going at each other and they're screaming and their swords are up in the air. Was that epic? No?
They just kind of both looking at the water and accepting the fact they're about to be washed away.
Do they still?
It's all just a giant group of people accepting their fate.
Do they still? But it seems like some of them were still trying to get that fight in. Did they try and get the fight in, or?
Yeah, a few people right.
They changed it from the trailer.
Fully committed.
And like, there's one scene where the tidal wave is going after a horse, and it's one horse.
Is it like literally seeking out this one horse and chasing it down, like through alleyways and stuff?
There's only one horse in the whole area. No guys, just one horse.
Just one horse. That seems like a weird thing to put in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, let's have this scene where one horse gets swallowed up.
Run the water.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, like, what are you thinking, a horse? Like, you're gonna die, just accept it.
Well, I think that's just one of those instinct things that kicks in. But how long does it? Does he spend like 20 minutes on that scene? It's just a horse outrunning a tidal wave.
No, that's a while. Only a minute or two long.
It's just some sweet flair. I just wanted to put in some visual flair.
The horse outrunning a tidal wave. Horse v tidal wave. Who wins? Does the tidal wave win or the horse? I know this might be a spoiler, but
the tidal wave.
I thought so. I thought so.
I
was holding on hope.
Earlier I said 12 plagues. I meant 10. There's too many goddamn numbers.
Did they go through all the plagues?
Slightly. Yeah.
Nice.
What was your favorite plague?
The first one where crocodiles go into the water and attack a small boat. And then all of a sudden the entire sea is red because there's just crocodiles everywhere.
Plague of Crocs.
Plague of Crocs.
On people.
So the first one is crocodiles.
The locust one, that one kind of freaked me out a little bit. And anything involving bugs.
Yeah. I know that you have a real problem with bugs.
And the frog one was pretty odd too. Because
those don't seem that bad, honestly. Like, they seem like a nuisance more than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the locusts would mess up crops. I guess that'd be the big thing, right?
I assume, yeah.
But I feel like you could just kill them all.
They were, if you would have seen the number of frogs, you wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Yeah, like a lot of frogs doesn't sound that bad, but I would think like if you woke up the next day and you walked outside and there's just fucking frogs everywhere, then you would be like, yeah, holy shit.
And
it would make for a very unpleasant walk to work.
Hell yeah.
That's for sure.
Because they'd be hopping around and shit, and you wouldn't want to step on them, but at the same time you kind of have to.
Yeah.
And then they would be like hopping towards you.
Just be frog guts. You'd be covered in frog guts.
Oh my goodness.
The princess wakes up in the middle of the night and there's just frogs everywhere.
What?
Like all over her face, all over her bed, all over the floor.
Oh, so they get inside too? So they like appear inside?
Yeah, because apparently no one in ancient Egypt believed in the screens.
It's not that they didn't have the ability to make them. In Ryan's eyes, they just didn't believe in them.
They didn't bother.
They could have easily made screens, but they were just against it. And now they have
You
frogs.
told me they didn't have storm windows?
They got frogs all over their faces because of it.
All right, let's talk about Ridley Scott. I think we probably talked about him before on this show. I know that Ryan, you really, really hated Prometheus.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Ridley Scott's other works?
Alien?
The first Alien. He did Alien, yeah.
And, well, that's alright.
Okay.
He
did
names G.I. Jane.
Yeah, he did G.I. Jane. I don't remember anything about G.I. Jane. I remember seeing it, but I don't remember anything about it. He did Blade Runner. He did Legend. He did Black Rain, Thelma and Louise, Gladiator, Hannibal, Matchstick Men, Black Hawk Down, Kingdom of Heaven.
Gladiator, Matchstick Men, and Black Hawk Down. I like them.
All right. Okay. American Gangster.
I like that.
Yeah, it seems like one you'd like. Robin Hood, Body of Lies. He did The Counselor. And most recently, he did The Martian.
I briefly started watching The Martian. Then
I haven't seen it yet.
Turning issues, so I had to stop. Actually, it's up for making the lost power.
Ridley Scott.
Mm.
I plan on seeing The Martian. I just don't know when I'll get around to it.
I have no interest. Why would I want to watch that?
People I've talked to said pretty good.
I mean, I heard good things. I'll check it out. I have no qualms about checking it out. I'd never got around to it. It's very difficult for me if I miss a movie to find the time to go back and watch it.
Get it back. I heard it's hilarious. That's
what I hear. I did see online recently, I think it was just either yesterday or today, that someone released a re-edit of the Martian trailer that turns it into a musical comedy.
I want to see someone redo the entire thing with a laugh track.
That'd be funny. That'd be cool. That'd probably get annoying though.
Yeah. I'm sure the movie gets annoying by itself.
Possibly. I don't know. What's your take on Ridley Scott? Kevin, this is a question for you. Does Ridley Scott have a style?
I don't know. I don't know if I've seen enough of his work, but out of the things that I have seen, I don't know what that style would be.
Like it, with some directors, with a lot of directors, you can tell like, oh, that's a Wes Anderson movie. That's obviously the most extreme example. Like that's definitely their style. But with some directors, like Ridley Scott, I've seen a lot of Ridley Scott movies, but I couldn't tell you like, oh, that is definitely a Ridley Scott thing. I
completely forgot he did Matchstick Men.
Right. I think visually his videos are cool.
You all about them Ridley Scott visuals?
Well, compare Michael Bay and Ridley Scott. Like, Ridley Scott doesn't blow shit up all the time. But his movies still, like, I actually want there are some of the movies I want to watch the Blu-ray version.
I gotcha.
I agree. I think that he does have a lot of his movies have really strong. I mean, Blade Runner is arguably one of the most visually striking movies ever made. I mean, people constantly reference that and mimic that in their own movies. I mean, it was such a visually influential movie. And Alien is one of my all-time favorite movies. Not just because of the visuals, but the visuals definitely had a lot to do with it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, movies like going back to Matchstick Man, like what was so visually striking about that? Or Body of Lies? Is it like the grittiness? He seems to like to use a lot of grittiness in his movies, but I don't know. That seems like it's something that he does later on.
Yeah, I don't think that because I haven't seen anything from him in a while. I think the last thing I saw was Blade Runner.
Really?
Which is like a year or 2 years ago or something.
Oh, you mean...
You remember,
I thought you were saying that that's the, like, latest in his filmography.
No.
I'm like, holy crap, dude.
Black Hawk Down, that movie's really visually and audio stunning.
Yeah.
Like, if you have surround sound, that movie's pretty wild to watch.
Yeah, I agree with that. But then you have, like, The Counselor, and it's like, I've never seen that movie, but it didn't look great to me.
And that's one of those where it seemed like people either hated it or loved it.
Yeah.
One of those, you guys got it wrong, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when that first came out, people were hating on it big time, but then people started coming out and saying that it was great.
Coming around on it.
Yeah. All right. I'm still a little up in the air with Ridley Scott. Like, he's definitely not a director that I will see anything that he does, but...
You're also not going to dismiss him.
Right. I wouldn't put him anywhere in the same category as, like, Michael Bay or any of these other, like, big director. I think that he's made some amazing films, but it seems like his stuff's so all over the place. I don't know.
Well, plus it's just weird to have. This is just something that was doomed from the beginning. I mean, it's the Exodus, Gods and Kings, about Egypt with Moses, and your cast is Christian Bale, Joel Edgerton, Turo, Aaron Paul. Why is Aaron Paul in this fucking movie? And Sigourney Weaver. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous.
I remember when this I guess when it was first announced, or maybe when the first trailers came out, that there was a lot of criticism for him deciding to do that.
Which two things I want to ask you about, Ryan. Number one, does Aaron Paul act any better than anything else he's been in, or does he just act like Aaron Paul?
I honestly don't. He must have a lot of makeup on, because I remember. Wait, is he the main guy?
He's probably the one that says bitches a lot.
he plays Joshua.
You have a name.
He plays Joshua.
Alright, that's not what I thought it was. I don't remember him.
Wow. He's actually unrecognizable. That's different. But I'm glad you mentioned makeup, because the main thing I remember about this, besides the tidal wave, is that Joel Edgerton.
Joel Edgerton's eye makeup?
Does he have that on the entire movie?
Yeah.
Joel Edgerton with the ridiculous eye makeup, eyeliner. Yes. He has that the entire time.
Yes.
Is it ever discussed why he has it?
No.
It's just there. I mean, you're just supposed to buy in automatically.
I thought it was odd because to me it looks like he's crying a lot.
It's like running. It's like always running because it's so hot there.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too. It's just where did they get eye makeup, and why is he wearing eye makeup?
They can't make screens.
They can, but they refuse.
Waterproof eyeliner. Come on.
Jeez.
They got to get their priorities straight here. I wish. I mean, it was 2.5 hours long. You think that they would be able to throw in a scene where there's like a handmaiden or someone that's putting that makeup on him in the morning, because he doesn't do it himself.
He can't do it himself. That's just too much work.
Is that like an Egyptian thing?
Sure.
Because a lot of them have that.
What, in the movie?
Yeah, a lot of them have that real heavy black eyeliner on. A lot of the Egyptians.
I wonder if that was... Is that just like how they differentiate between the Egyptians and the non-Egyptians?
Probably.
I assume.
They're the ones with the eyeliner.
Oh my god.
Because Ramses throughout the movie, he has crazy eyeliner also.
Really? Does Aaron Paul have crazy eyeliner?
I don't remember.
Because you didn't even know where he was.
He just blended in.
Couldn't even tell.
All right, let's go ahead and give you your drum roll on this thing, Ryan. Ryan, what do you give Exodus, Gods and Kings?
3.
Oh, that's a 3 out of 10.
It was 4, but it was 2.5 hours long, so...
Got docked.
Got docked one.
Yeah.
What would it have been if it came out in an hour and 45 minutes?
Probably about 4 or 5.
You're so close, Ridley.
I'm a real stickler about
He's big time.
His time is important. His time is important. Don't be wasting his time.
No, I'm just used to sitting down for an hour now, for an hour and 45 minutes, and watching a movie, because that's generally how long they are.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. Anytime I sit down to watch a movie and I don't already know what the runtime is, and I look it up and it's like 2.5 hours, I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Unless it's a movie that I'm really excited about, in which case I don't even bother looking because I don't care. But...
Or my first thought is, why?
Yeah.
How do you have 2.5 hours worth of story?
I think the only one of the only really long movies I've seen that I didn't care that it was long was Gettysburg.
Gettysburg?
I thought
take all the time you want. I want to know everything about Gettysburg.
Oh my god.
I was more into that story, I guess.
Wait, are you talking about the Ken Burns series?
No, the movie. The one didn't come out in like the 90s.
I think I know.
It's like 2 parts in each one.
Yeah, I know. It's the one with Tom Berenger's in it.
Yeah.
It's the one with Tom Berenger.
1993 Martin Sheen.
4.5 hours long.
Oh, man. Jeff Daniels in there, too.
Yeah, I remember that one. I think we watched that in school. It has to be that we watched it in school, because there's no way that I would
we definitely watched
voluntarily watch this. I remember it being interesting. But, yeah. So, what do you think about this Gods of Egypt business?
Visually, it looks cool, but the fucking movie looks really stupid.
I think visually it looks like shit, and it looks like somebody pissed all over the screen. Everything's yellow. And I think that the CG looks atrocious.
It does look very bad.
And I don't even know what to say about this one. So just the big difference between this and Exodus is that these are the actual gods. So we have like Gerard Butler plays Set. The guy from Game of Thrones plays Horus.
I would mind seeing it for that too.
Jeffrey Rush plays Ra. Chadwick Boseman plays Thoth.
And it's, interestingly enough, the director is actually Egyptian, so perhaps they learned a lesson.
I'm into the whole Egyptian god thing, like mythology.
You're all about some Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, maybe this one's for you then. It is the same director that did The Crow. Huh?
Oh.
The Crow. And Dark City.
And knowing.
Well.
I robot. I bought. He did I bought.
I bought.
That's what my mom calls it.
Oh, nice.
I bought.
I've been meaning to rewatch Dark City, actually, because I remember really, really liking that movie back in the day. And I want to see if it holds up.
Probably not.
I can tell you The Crow doesn't. Because I watched that not too long ago.
Oh.
It does not hold up.
Would it be fair to say that The Crow got popular because Brandon Lee was in it and died shortly after?
He died during it.
Well, yeah, but I mean
maybe. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's I don't know how if Brandon Lee did not die on set, it'd be interesting to see exactly how that would have been, if it would have been as successful.
Yeah.
Because at that point, Brandon Lee was not a famous actor. Like he was in some low budget action movies that were like straight to video. Like he wasn't in anything big, but The Crow was a pretty big budget movie.
Bruce Lee's kid.
What?
Is it just because he was Bruce Lee's kid?
Is what because he was Bruce Lee's kid?
Like, did he get all the attention because of it?
I mean, I'm sure that he got more attention than if he wasn't Bruce Lee's kid.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he was a particularly good actor, but then again, he was just starting his career out. Like he'd only been in a few things up until that point, so he might have had a good career ahead of him. I mean, he wasn't that bad in The Crow or anything. But anyway, we're off on a Crow tangent here.
We always get off on them Crow tangents. I'll watch that, man.
One of these days, I'm gonna go and watch they made like 4 or 5 sequels to that movie. I'm gonna go and watch some of the straight to DVD ones.
Best of
every time we'd go into Hollywood Video, there'd be like a new Crow movie on DVD, and be like, how many of these damn things are they gonna make? It's like The Crow, Cradle of Filth.
Isn't that
City
a band?
of Blood. Yes, it is a band. But it sounds like a subtitle for a Crow movie.
Cradle of Filth.
All right. Any final thoughts, Ryan, on Gods of Egypt or Exodus, Gods and Kings?
Nope. Too long.
Well, this Gods of Egypt is looks like 2 hours and 7 minutes.
I might be able to tolerate that a little better because, I mean, like I said, I'm into the whole Egyptian mythology thing.
I don't think that this is going to be very, historically accurate, though. I don't know how accurate this is going to be to, the mythology. It looks like it's pretty ridiculous from the trailers.
Well, it's got a giant mechanized viper in it and mechanized scarabs. So I'm going to say that they're a little loosey-goosey.
They're playing a little fast and loose with that mythology.
Yeah, I think they're just doing their own thing.
There's no Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie yet, so
probably
not a good sign.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
All right, well, I think that is going to wrap it up for this week. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet, @FilmPulseKevin, and @MyLegsDon'tWork. And if you have a minute, take a look at our Patreon page. Patreon.com/FilmPulse is the address. And consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber. For Kevin Rakestraw and Ryan Holes, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.
See you later.